The high Wheatman shoves that right over to the Lions half. Looks like this one's going in. Oh, are you kidding me? Donut over behind. We're going to see the barrage. The barrage.
Oh my gosh, Nico is just dominating right now.
What a play.
That's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
That was disgusting.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Thursday. It is Overwatch night. Welcome back for some amazing games tonight. I'm your host, The Bearded Man, and I'm joined by the wonderful Flair. How you doing, Flair?
Doing all right. I'm excited. You know,
Yes.
we had a chill day yesterday with a little bit of snow. I got back to classes today, but I've been looking forward to some Overwatch action for my Thursday night. Only game I get to commentate this semester due to my schedule, so I'm always looking forward to it. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, I'm excited for Overwatch. It's always one of the I'm always in a great mood when it comes to Overwatch. I always love casting the games. Don't know which I like more, R6 or Overwatch, but ultimately
Tonight you like Overwatch.
tonight I like Overwatch.
Tonight you like Overwatch more.
Especially so your Carthage Firebirds tonight are playing up against the Purdue Boilermakers. This is going to be a very, very interesting match to experience. Now, week one, the Firebirds losing in 3 against the University of Arkansas. But fortunately, last week, a very interesting set of events, winning in 5 against the University of Oregon. And the ones that the Firebirds won, they definitely won by a huge margin.
Yeah, but that's not telling the whole story, because the ones they lost by a huge margin. Very
Very
interesting match we had last week as they battled back and forth, but not a close grind back and forth. It was, all right, well, I'll roll you map 1, I'll roll you map 2, I'll absolutely destroy you map 3, and so on, till the Firebirds took it in 5. Both teams being 1-1 playing tonight. I see that the Purdue Boilermakers got their win through a forfeit against the MBU Spartans, but they lost in Game 5 to ISU Black.
Definitely an interesting, when you lose against a forfeit or you win against a forfeit, it's really hard for other teams to really figure out where you're situated
Absolutely.
in terms of skill outside of the normal scouting that the players are able to do. But ultimately, I'm expecting Purdue. I mean, we've played them in R6 previously in other games. So ultimately,
Rocket League as well.
And Rocket League last season. Ultimately, I'm excited to see how they fare against our Overwatch team. We do have a very dominant team. Last week, we did hear in the postgame interview, Donut saying that the reason they lost those matches was due to because they were running strategies they were still kind of figuring out. The ones that they did win, they had that strategy that they know and love. So ultimately, hopefully we don't see as much of a experimental strategies here tonight, and we see kind of that dominance that we're expecting.
Here's the hope to that.
Yeah. But your Firebirds on a control point, game 1 is going to be, it looks like it's going to be Busan as the map choice. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that is it. But let's meet your Overwatch team. Welcome back, everybody. I am excited for that match. This roster is definitely a very powerful person, especially having some of these newcomers along. But for tonight, map 1, it looks like the starting lineup for the Firebirds, it's going to be Donut, Shinbone, Lunar Synergy, Fuzzy, and Nancakes. Fuzzy and Nancakes, always some amazing supports. We always see some amazing plays from them. Shinbone and Lunar Synergy looks like they're starting on that DPS role, and Donut is going to be playing the tank. Now, for your Boilermakers, we are seeing Meme Hunter, Notorious, CK Rookie, Ryu, and Hullavalu. That is going to be an interesting name.
Hullavalu.
Hullavalu?
Hullavalu. What's with all the Hullavalu?
Okay.
Hoopla.
Yeah. I mean, usually, Hoopla. See, it reminds me of that name from last season, our player Hubbub. You know, what's all the Hubbub? What's all that?
Oh, I forgot about Hubbub.
Yeah, can't forget him. But I'm assuming the lineup is going to be for the Boilermakers, Meme Hunter on tank, Notorious and CK Rookie on that DPS, and Ryu and Hullavalu on that support.
Yeah, Hullavalu. Yeah, that's got to be it.
It sounds right. I'm going to say it that. We're going to accept that until somebody tells us it's wrong, and then I'm going to say, well, how do you pronounce it? And they're going to type it in chat because I can't read chat. Regardless, I won't know the pronunciation. But I will say this, on map 1 for tonight, I was wrong earlier, it does look like it's going to be on Nepal. And it was funny because as the teams were deciding maps, it looked like the idea of the new Antarctica map was going to be possibly chosen. However, I believe that's not until next week that is in the map pool.
Goodness, because I have not even seen that map yet.
I have played on it once.
I should probably hop into it.
It's definitely spicing things up just enough that it's a whole new map, which is something I love to see. And we do see new map time after time, especially with the addition of Overwatch 2. But that map is especially new. It has been released, I think, a month ago. So
how did I miss that?
It kind of was a secret map. In all
That's
honesty,
crazy.
They announced it like 2 days before it actually went live. But it looks like both teams are ready. We're going to be hopping into Nepal. What are you expecting from the Firebirds on Nepal?
I think one thing to look for is going to be Lunar Synergy's accuracy. If Lunar Synergy's coming out hot tonight, then I think the Firebirds are going to be coming out hot tonight because really when that momentum shifts, he's always at the forefront. So I think that's my key to this one right here. But, if he's not coming out strong, then I look to seeing if our tanks and supports are going to have enough synergy to just keep each other alive long enough to sustain longer battles after taking the point. It shouldn't be a back and forth. It should really be focused on really grinding out, making sure you can hang on to that contest as long as you can. But we'll see what the Boilermakers have planned for the Firebirds here.
Yes,
I'm excited.
Now this point one, we do see we can, for those who are just new to this game, basically control point is a King of the Hill style, secure the center objective point longer than the other team, basically charging up the meter up until it's 100%. Now on this map specifically, this round of this map specifically, the environmental kills are going to be very, very important. There is a massive pit right next to point that a lot of times you're seeing people kind of being knocked down into. However, I'm ready to see this. Your Firebirds starting out with that Orisa, Junkrat, Cassidy, Ana, and Lucio, whereas the Boilermakers running Ramatra, Pharah, Cassidy, Ana, and Mercy. I think the Firebirds having Junkrat is going to be especially powerful here, especially against that Ramatra, and going to have to watch out for that that Pharah, which we could see Lunar Synergy putting a lot of shots into them. Wasn't enough to get the pick, and unfortunately Lunar Synergy was taken out of this fight, and that Pharah is still there, and Junkrat, Shinbone trying his best, but it's not a good choice against the Pharah. I think Junkrat is like the worst person.
Definitely got to be a switch there. You know, I'm actually really intrigued because I had no idea that this inside part of the map was so high. I've never seen a pharmacy used inside Nepal here like this, so I had no idea the ceiling even reached that high. But we're seeing it work out very well for Notorious and Meme Hunter as they will win the first fight against the Firebirds.
Definitely. I think that fight loss for the Firebirds was definitely, unfortunately, I think due to Lunar Synergy getting picked off so early. They had absolutely no way to really do any sort of damage to that Pharah. No consistent damage, unlike a hit scan hero. I mean, you do have Fuzzy on Ana, but you have to be putting those shots into your team on Ana. You don't have, it's not value. Your shots are too valuable to waste on any sort of that. But Lunar Synergy using that magnetic grenade and hooking onto that Pharah, taking the Pharah out, the Firebirds can now kind of gain a little bit more ground. However, the Boilermakers having several ultimates at their disposal is going to be something that might cause some really, really bad issues for them. Notorious is coming back into the fight, so Lunar Synergy should be really watching for that. We do see CK Rookies kind of alone on that side along with their Ana, and Shinbone getting just a ton of shots on them and taking them out. Lunar Synergy taking out the Ramatra, and the Firebirds are able to clean the rest of them up despite losing 2 people to that Pharah barrage. It was not enough to really put enough of a game-changing play, and the Firebirds are able to secure the point.
Yeah, one of the keys there is Donut was able to completely stun Cassidy out of their ult in that battle, which allowed the Firebirds to no longer have to worry about that zoning, and they were able to just rush down that back line, and I think that turned the tides there.
Oh, definitely. Now, we do see the Firebirds, all of the Firebirds having ultimate abilities here, so I'm expecting to see just a few in this fight. We're seeing the Ramatra kind of run in, shield Donut off from the rest of his supports, but because Donut knows exactly what to be doing as a tank, it's going to be dodging and are going to be moving out of that shield, and we do see Lunar Synergy getting some really good plays against the Tracer. However, because Ramatra is just so powerful, that ultimate ability knocking out like 3 of the Firebirds there in that fight, leaving Donut and Nancakes in the battle, I believe. Donut and Fuzzy, I should say.
Yeah,
however,
the Firebirds still don't give up point there.
No,
and
because
it seems like the team will be able to make it back before the next fight breaks out. Not quite.
He could only hold for so long, and unfortunately, eventually the Firebirds not being able to come back in time, and the Firebirds were having to back up now. We see Donut is going to be respawning just there, so not that much time coming in, but the Firebirds really need to kind of push in. The clock is ticking. Just over 20% left on the clock or on the site, I should say, for the Boilermakers. So if they can get the pick right here on this Ramatra, however, both of the Firebirds and the Boilermakers tanks are going to be slept. We do see Lunar Synergy taking out Meme Hunter, taking out the main tank for the Boilermakers, and Lunar Synergy taking another kill onto the Boilermakers. Unfortunately, that's going to be revived by Hullabaloo. So now the Firebirds really having to step up their game because the overtime clock is starting. Lunar Synergy, though, taking out one of the supports for the Boilermakers. That is a really good pick to have. We will see maybe the Mercy not getting that res and getting picked off. The Firebirds don't getting a double kill there. Lunar Synergy getting picked off for the Firebirds, and the Firebirds recapturing point. They cannot afford to lose this point at this point because the Boilermakers at 99%. A single fight one is going to turn the tide, and the Boilermakers are going to be able to take away this round.
Oh, we're going to see the Firebirds now make their last stand. Got to play a little bit more passive. Can't let them get to the site there. I think it's an interesting choice to defend from the high ground as the point is being captured right now. Oh, Firebirds just, ooh, not quite able to make it through there, as there will be a 4K there by the Boilermakers, and they will finish it off and take point number 1 unless Fuzzy can get there.
Yeah, I think that Tracer was not so much playing for the kills. It was very much playing for that stall, playing for that time. And unfortunately, Ramatra ult mixed with, or not Ramatra ult, Ramatra Nemesis form mixed with a high noon is just not a good combo for the Firebirds. However, going into round 2, it is best of 3 for the control map, so they could come back. I think it was a really close match here. We're seeing dominance from both teams here. Players across the board are putting in the work, getting some really good plays, but ultimately it comes down to those last second plays, and that is what we saw in that last round.
That we did, and the Firebirds just couldn't quite pull it out there, but we've seen these back and forths before. We'll see if the Firebirds can take round number 2 here, as they will have a composition of Reinhardt, Reaper,
Symmetra.
I was in there. Moira and Lucio here. Very interesting composition that we don't see the Firebirds play that often, so I'm interested to see how it works out for them as they're going up against a very similar composition, only with a change, with one of the DPS being Cassidy and another support being Baptiste instead for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, now right off the bat, the Firebirds taking out Notorious for the Boilermakers. That advantage in the DPS route is going to be really good. However, we saw Donut taking a lot of damage there, but because he was able to get the charge and so many amazing plays, because Donut is just unstoppable, not caring about diving into the front line because he knows the supports are there and is just going to swing that hammer, taking out the main tank, forcing the Boilermakers to back up and regroup. Now, we do see Notorious switching off of the Reaper onto the Pharah, and the Firebirds do not have anybody to counter that Pharah. So they're going to have to play very smart here. You could potentially have the Reaper take the high ground, but the accuracy is just not good enough. But that might not be an issue for Shinbone as he's laying down shots. Unfortunately, though, Donut taking out Hullavaloo and we're losing Donut and NECC in that split second there. So unfortunately, the Firebirds, I say that, and then I see that they're still holding the point, playing smart. We're seeing Shinbone kind of dive the backline a little bit, trying to take somebody out. Lunar Synergy was still on point, but unfortunately, as I say that though, Donut turns the corner, uses the Shatter, doing a ton of damage. Will it be enough to get any sort of kill? Unfortunately, unfortunately, again, NECC and Donut taking picks, but falling themselves. Now I'm finally caught up.
Yeah, they were able to get about 5% more due to that Shatter being used, but you start to wonder if maybe it would have been a little more useful to just save it for the next team fight, as the Firebirds were very staggered there, and Donut ultimately fell. We're going to be heading into another fight here in just a second. Should be at about 20% by the time the Firebirds can really make contact. They're going to decide to take the high ground side route on the left here. We'll see how that works out for them.
Now we do see Lunar Synergy swapping off the Symmetra onto the Pharah, and that looks like it is going to be a very good choice for them. Donut diving in, charging in, unfortunately getting taken out, but being saved last second by that Immortality Field, allowing him to get one more strike before the Immortality Field dissipated, and the Firebirds are probably going to be pushed back once again. It's these, I think they're just not focusing on these kills.
Yeah, you know, we're seeing the Firebirds spread a lot of damage, but we're not seeing the confirm on many of these kills. Lunar Synergy's doing a nice job of focusing Pharah, but then after that, Firebirds are just kind of splashing damage left and right, when I think they need to start calling out just who they're going to be going after a little more. Not so much like they are a dive comp, but, you know, just getting a little bit more focus going.
Definitely. Now, we do see the Firebirds taking a little bit of a switch up, going that side route, but unfortunately, Meme Hunter having that Shatter ready. Will we see Donut be able to block it? Hopefully we see that, because we've seen that time and time again. However, the Firebirds really not have any ults. We're going to see a Death Blossom here probably from Shinbone. Shinbone taking out the Immortality Field, but Lunar Synergy using the Grenade to take Far out. And then 2 more kills from Shinbone and Lunar Synergy, and Fuzzy finishing off the other support. And the Firebirds getting a team kill there. Beautiful play there. However, a few ultimates going out. Donut, I believe, was able to get that block on the Boilermaker's Shatter. But the Firebirds really going to have to be careful for these next few fights, because they don't have that many ultimates. They're going to have Shatter very soon. and they're going to have that amplification matrix. But it all depends on where you place that amplification matrix, and that is exactly what we're going to be seeing. We are seeing Notorious switching off the Pharah onto the Symmetra. Shinbone taking out one of the supports for the Boilermakers. Meme Hunter taking out Donut, unfortunately, but because Donut's out and the rest of the Firebirds are still dominant forces, able to continue and not let that cause any issues. Firebirds winning that battle, needing probably one more battle to win. We might be seeing this go into overtime. We're going to see probably one more fight here, though. But the Reinhardt for the Boilermaker running in, taking a ton of damage, but it wasn't enough to get a pick. But Donut having the shatter, giving the rest of the fire, getting the rest of the Boilermakers. The overclock tide goes down slowly but surely. Donut not getting a kill there, but getting enough of a distraction that the Firebirds are able to prove more and more dominance. And Lunar Synergy getting that final shot, clearing off the remaining Boilermaker. What a round.
Yeah, you know, you start to wonder if we saw the Firebirds in a similar instance in week number 1, is just those last second moments of, do you make the right play? And I don't know if Meme Hunter pushing in that early was the right play. I think it was at about 92%. I think there was the time for the entire team to make it to the point by then.
Definitely.
And once Reinhardt got completely separated from the team, easy pickings for the Firebirds. They were able to separate him and pick off the rest of the backline with their DPS.
Exactly. I mean, fortunately, it wasn't enough to do enough damage to take out Meme Hunter, but because they were so spread out, the Firebirds could kind of just unleash more damage to the backline, and it's going to have a great time. Now we are seeing on map 3, 1-1, winner of this map takes game 1 of your series for tonight. Firebirds running the same comp as before. And we do see the Boilermakers pulling out a Mei. That is going to be a very interesting choice for them. Firebirds having a Reaper, which is a very hit-or-miss counter, I think, to a Mei. It all depends on how well Lunar Synergy, or Shinbone, I should say, is going to be able to really dive these backlines and focus on these supports especially. But we're seeing Shinbone do exactly that. Unfortunately, not enough of damage to really do anything notable, but enough of a distraction that the Firebirds can kind of push in, cause a little bit of issues. Unfortunately, Shinbone taken out by Meme Hunter there, but will we see the Firebirds be able to get a pick here? Unfortunately not. They're backing up despite only losing a DPS. I think that was a pretty smart play, and we do see Shinbone switching to Junkrat. Junkrat is a really, really good pick for this site.
Firebirds now just trying to feel out the opponents here as they've switched up their composition. We will see a Mei being used, which I know for the Firebirds has caused a lot of trouble in the past, just being able to make sure that they keep their Reinhardt with the team. So we'll see if that's going to be the key going into this battle here as the Firebirds try to push on through and get their first mark on the point.
Definitely. Donut needs to be really careful with those ice walls. However, that shatter from Meme Hunter is just going to knock down the entirety of the Firebirds. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a team kill there for the Boilermakers. 52% on the site. Firebirds really going to have to come back and switch it up. What do you think they need to switch up to?
You know, honestly, I know no one else is as used to playing them, but I would like to see a Pharmacy combo here going up against Mei. Just kind of force them to get off of Mei, because the Firebirds really just don't seem to have the answer for Mei right now. See right here, Reinhardt's already separated. We're lucky we get that nano boost off in time. And I think, was there a beat drop also thrown? There was. Firebirds now going to use that to try and get through. Donut taking out all the Symmetra turrets. Firebirds get a couple picks, but ultimately it's left in kind of a grindy state, so we'll see if this ends well for the Firebirds.
I think right there we see that both of the Firebird supports were out. Despite Donut and the DPS able to push onto the site, they had absolutely no healer there, no way to get any sort of health restoration, and it was not good because the rest of the remaining of the Boilermakers could just kind of push in and still do damage without any sort of issue. And ultimately, Boilermakers winning round 3, taking map 1. Still a lot of Overwatch to be played, so it's not a... The Firebirds still have a chance to come back, but unfortunately, not on this site. What do you think went wrong there?
I really think it came down to Mei, and I'm hoping that Purdue doesn't pick up on the fact that Mei does seem to just kind of be a Firebird's kryptonite right now, because the moment they're put into a composition, just that wall, it's overpowered in my opinion, the wall. And it's torn the Firebirds apart countless times from activation till now, even last season. So I think that's really they struck gold on round 3 there. The Boilermakers did.
Yeah, I have seen team comps with a Mei, and the Mei is like a drastically lower rank and not as mechanically skilled as the rest of the players.
Yeah.
But they were able to just place down the walls when needed and let the rest of the team come in and just take them out. And as you know, I'm seeing some great May plays from the Boilermakers. It's not necessarily the situation like that where they're, you know, drastically lower rank, but we're just seeing more of a dominance, and May is just a really bad person to deal with. So you got to be able to switch that up going into map 2. We are going to take a quick 5-ish minute break while we get ready for the next map. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're ready for some more. Welcome back, everybody, to map 2 of tonight's Overwatch matchup. Your Carthage Firebirds against the Purdue Boilermakers. Map 1, not starting off, very hit or miss, I should say, for the Firebirds. You know, proving dominance, having some really good battles. Unfortunately, round 3 was just not what they needed. What did you think?
Yeah, you know, I mean, it definitely doesn't feel like there's a clear dominance like there was last week or even the week before. Definitely feels like this is something that the Firebirds can't let get out of control unless the Boilermakers come out and they use that momentum and they just absolutely keep rolling here on map number 2. Interesting thing, though, I'm excited to see Kings Row. I don't think we've played on it yet this year.
I don't believe so.
So it'll be interesting to see the strategies invoked by the Firebirds as well as the Boilermakers to kind of counter each other here. And I'm interested to see how Kings Row is going to work as a 5v5 map now instead of a 6v6.
It's definitely a lot different because this map was very notorious for holding really good angles, holding really strong defensive positioning, and switching to the 5-player game modes, or the 5-player team styles, I should say, definitely makes it a lot more action-packed and a lot faster, a lot higher paced. Now, the Firebirds, I think, really excel in a 5-tank dominant fashion, being able to really just have their DPS really stand out. Unfortunately, that means the supports have to work double time and make sure that they're not out in the open. But because Fuzzy and Pancakes are just such amazing supports, it's not that much of a change for them. They're able to kind of tinker where needed, and it's not going to put the Firebirds at much of a jeopardy. Now, we are seeing the Firebirds dealing with a Widowmaker from the Boilermakers. Now, the Boilermakers running Reinhardt, Hanzo, Cassidy, and Baptiste. Lucio, sorry. And Firebirds running a Reinhardt, Bastion, Cassidy, Zenyatta, and Baptiste. Really solid composition from your Firebirds. We are seeing Meme Hunter kind of push forward despite the Bastion unloading a ton of damage into him. The Immortality Field, though, is going to be protecting them. Lunar Synergy not able to kind of get any last-second shots. I say that, and then Meme Hunter falling for the Boilermakers. Firebirds need to push in. The point is being taken as we speak, and it was nearly taken all the way. Unfortunately, they were not, the Boilermakers were not able to just get that last tick that's needed. They're not able to capture this first point. Firebirds, though, really having to be careful because it's not much more that the Boilermakers need to control the site for them to unlock it.
Yeah, it was really interesting. The Firebirds kind of set up their defense behind the point almost instead of taking a more aggressive position to keep space. And so, you know, it is going to be easier for the Boilermakers to just kind of waltz on the point there and take it, which we're seeing again because of the really passive strategy being used by the Firebirds here. They're going to have to dodge this Hanzo ult. They handled that genuinely well. Shinbone, I think, accidentally killed himself.
And Lunar Synergy, though, in response to Shinbone killing himself, Lunar Synergy getting 3 kills. So, ultimately,
sacrifice one Shinbone for 3. We'll take it.
Yeah, I think that was a sacrifice. Might be, I wouldn't say a quick back, because you do see Bastion having that ultimate ability. We're not seeing him switch anytime soon. And ultimately, I think that that ultimate is going to be a pretty powerful play for the Firebirds, having that artillery strike down onto probably the back line of the Boilermakers. Now here we see being deployed the Reinhardt, though. Meme Hunter running in and getting the shatter. Fuzzy trying to capture
the point.
Fuzzy trying to capture that, or deploy that Transcendence, but it wasn't quick enough, and the Firebirds have lost the point. However, that happens. Very rarely do we see a full hold on these higher level divisions and higher level play. So I'm not too surprised if the Firebirds could still come back and just really hold them probably on this next corner. Hopefully on this
I
next
agree
corner.
there, but I do got to say, I just thought that was a really interesting strategy to be holding so far back on that map there. I just feel like it gave too much opportunity for the Boilermakers. I feel like we could have had them for another minute or so if we even moved up just to the front of the point. Same amount of cover would have been used because you could go inside the house. I don't know. Well, time will tell on whether or not that was the call here as the Firebirds continue in map 2.
Yeah, I think the Firebirds just not able to get that aggression and that offensive advantage. They could not push up. They were being held right there. But we do see the Boilermakers not letting that arch kind of stand in their way, and they're going to be taking the back route. Donut putting that shatter down. Meme Hunter surviving, but just Donut's going to be pushing in, and the rest of the Boilermakers are taken out in that fight. CK Rookie is going to somehow survive. I think was just positioned properly. That was not was not in sight of the Firebirds, but the Firebirds holding that battle, winning that battle. Few ultimate abilities being used, though.
Firebirds here now. We got Donut taking on all 5 of their team at once, getting good heals. Are they going to be good enough? The Immortality Field comes in clutch here as the Firebirds are getting pushed back, but they hold the line.
Yeah, they're holding the line, but we're seeing that Dragon kind of go through that amplification matrix. But we're seeing Shinbone pop that artillery strike onto the backline, not taking anybody out, but probably pushing people forward. And Donut taking out Ryu. Fuzzy taking out Hullabaloo. Unfortunately, Shinbone falling, but is able to get a post-death grenade kill, and the Firebirds are going to be holding it. NECC's kind of pushing forward
Oh my
with
goodness.
Fuzzy behind her and making sure, trying to get that last second kill, but it wasn't enough. And the Firebirds not finishing it. Not an official team kill, but they're able to burn enough time off the clock. Now they're repositioning and regrouping there on that corner. We do see the Boilermakers slowly making more ground on that cart, but because they're able to kind of, Firebirds having a really good angle, really able to hold this last second stretch in a pretty good way. We're seeing Bob being popped out. Shinbone and Lunar Synergy though taking kills there. And another Fuzzy getting a kill. Oh my gosh, I'm not able to process some of this stuff happening before it actually happens. We're seeing just amazing quick succession burst damage, basically.
Yeah, very, very good utilization of the new way Bastion works with that rework, only getting turret form for a few seconds, but that mobility that came with it surely helped Shinbone win that fight for the Firebirds.
Definitely. Now we do see Meme Hunter switching off of the Reinhardt onto the Ramatra, and Ramatra is a very interesting tank. You know, that ultimate ability, especially being able to basically wipe out an entire team at a moment's notice. Not a good time, but Donut not letting that stop him. Going to be getting that shatter and just diving into the rest of the Boilermakers. Unfortunately, the Riptire is going to take out the remaining of the Firebirds, but Donut's able to get a few kills and kind of push the backline backwards for the Boilermakers, allowing the Firebirds to kind of burn more time while they wait for the remaining players to kind of respawn and regroup, especially since Donut has both of the supports on him. So it's not going to be much of an issue.
Worked out well.
Exactly. NECC, though, playing the DPS in the situation, taking out the Hanzo for the Boilermakers, and Fuzzy trying to get some long shots onto that Baptiste on top of the train station. Not enough, but we are going to be seeing Donut once again pushing forward. The artillery strike taking out the Immortality Field. Notorious, unfortunately, taking out NECC, but Donut having that charge ready, rushing in, somehow surviving.
Wow, that's some great support work there.
Surviving.
By Fuzzy and NECC to keep Donut alive there behind that shield.
We have some amazing supports, but even moments like that, I'm like, wow. I was not expecting that to work out for them. But because Meme Hunter pushing into the Firebirds, Lunar Synergy was able to kind of trade with CK Rookie. Unfortunately, Donut is going to be falling, but Boilermakers securing that checkpoint and are going to be adding a minute and a half to the clock.
Yeah, Firebirds, I think, need to regroup here, not be as aggressive as they are being right now. Make sure they have everyone respawn with them to make sure they can go after this team and really just kind of win 1 or 2 more team fights here. Really, if you win one that's dragged out a little long, I think you're going to be okay here as the Boilermakers are left with just a minute as the Firebirds forced overtime on the last point.
Exactly, and it's going to take every bit of this minute to really push it to the end. We're seeing Donut get a shatter out there, but unfortunately nobody able to get a pick there. Kind of just stalling for time at that point. Immortality Field going out for the Boilermakers and not able to really save anybody. It's able to soak up a lot of damage, but I think that might have been a bad play there because they have to wait. I believe it's 25 seconds now for it to come back. We are seeing Meme Hunter pop the natural for the first time, though. Is not going to kill like the entirety of the Firebirds. Oh, what a beautiful play there by Lunar Synergy. You know, making sure to utilize every bit of that hit scan and kind of stepping backwards and making sure you attack that Ramatra from a distance when that ultimate is popped. That is exactly what you need. Now, only a few seconds left on the clock. We are seeing CK Rookie switching to a Widowmaker there, but will it be enough to get any of the Firebirds, especially the backline? The Lunar Synergy taking out that Riptire from the Boilermakers. Unfortunately, though, Donut was alone, way too far up against that Riptire, who was basically scaring off the rest of the Firebirds. However, Lunar Synergy and NECC not letting that stop them,
Shinbone.
taking 2 people out, and we're seeing Bob be popped by Shinbone, and is just going to mop up the rest of the Boilermakers. That Widowmaker using the grappling hook to kind of get away from, but Bob is just going to have a little bit of a open season there and just kind of track her as she moved across the site. Firebirds stopping that 3-tick push. Now that means that the Firebirds are now going to be on attack and just need to push it that distance to win this map. Just that far.
Just that far.
Just that far, you're going to have a great time. But if they don't push it that far, it means that
Boilermakers take map number 2. So we'll see what happens here. Firebirds got to find it.
They need to find it.
Looking to equalize here in the series.
Yeah, they're finding that rhythm, and then they're losing it. And then they're finding it, and they're losing it. It's very hit or miss sometimes, but hopefully we're seeing definitely Lunar Synergy is on the top of his game. I don't think I've ever seen him play like this so far this season, hitting all those shots, making sure he's just causing pure chaos and being a pure menace to the Boilermakers.
Let's see what kind of all right, we got some nice emotes going around.
Yeah.
Got the drip.
The calm
Firebirds
before
got
the storm.
drip. Because I believe in this one you are allowed to use skins, right?
No.
No, not
So
in Overwatch either.
You can use skins if both teams agree. But
Okay.
the default setting is no skins. And that's a literal setting in the game creation is no skins.
Rocket League doesn't have this issue. We get to show off our drip.
I'm confused because in this game you're highlighted red usually by default. You're like highlighted. So
Right.
it's not so much you can't see the
Rocket League we get full customization of our cars, but
R6 you can. Rainbow Six you cannot, and that is for understandable reason. But this is
I'm seeing
Overwatch.
an argument
We're seeing
for Rocket League being superior.
I've never denied it, but Donut pushing in on Reinhardt once again, taking a ton of damage, but the rest of the team is able to support him there. Now we are seeing Lunar Synergy catching one of the Boilermakers on the side. That Hullabaloo putting that biotic grenade onto the Firebirds, disabling any sort of healing. But the Firebirds,
oh my
gosh,
Lunar Synergy once again, gonna get another one there.
I said it before and I'll say it again. I have never seen Lunar Synergy play. This is the best game of his season so far. He is warmed up. He is hitting all of his shots basically. He is having a great time and it's really, really showing. Shinbone on that Widowmaker. Most people play Widowmaker for this initial push and then switch off, but Shinbone is on another level and is saying, you know what, we're going to stick with the Widowmaker. And I think that might be a good choice because this next push, this next stretch, you're able to get some really good sight lines. And we did see Shinbone taking out one of the DPS already for the Boilermakers. That's building up that ultimate, building up that time. They have a lot of time to go though, because the point is still technically it was unlocking at that point. But we are seeing the Firebirds kind of push up and gain that ground that they gain their ownership of the land.
Yeah, the Firebirds also got 5 minutes to work with here because of how quickly they got through the capture point. So we will see what else goes on. We got the Shatter going down now as well as the window. That's going to be 1 pick, 2 pick, 3 pick. Oh, but Hullabaloo and Meme Hunter are going to counter it, and the Firebirds ultimately end negative there, having to fall back a little bit.
Negative by just 1, and that is all that matters, unfortunately. We did see NECC, though, using the Amplification Matrix, taking out 2 of the Boilermakers, but because was not focusing on that healing, unfortunately, was not enough to survive anybody. But Shinbone taking out Notorious before he even gets back. Not expecting it, and a little bit of a wave to the camera. A little bit of a trick shot there, but some amazing play there by Shinbone. I think I always hype up his Genji, but he is really showing that he is a menace on this Widowmaker.
Maybe this guy can aim. Maybe this guy can aim.
Yeah.
I always thought of him as just a projectile shooter.
Unfortunately, though, the Kiriko for the Boilermakers getting a long shot, taking Shinbone out. Lunar Synergy, though, taking out Notorious, and we're seeing the High Noon being popped, forcing the Boilermakers to take cover behind the point, but because Ryu was just out of cover slightly, Lunar Synergy was able to get that 1 support pick for the Boilermakers. Firebirds are able to kind of push forward. We're seeing the Shatter, though, being popped by Donut, taking out 3 people with that Shatter. NECC's getting 2 of those. Fuzzy getting 1.
Oh my gosh.
And
Shinbone, chill.
So Shinbone switching off a Widow, saying, all right, I've had my fun. Let's do something serious. And actually plays Tracer, proceeds to do equally as amazing as Tracer, and having a really good time here. Firebirds are able to push it pretty far. Now, I'm surprised they don't have 3 people on point, because 3 is the max amount of people you need to reach the max speed. So
clearly it doesn't matter as the points are reached there now. As
Yeah.
down goes Shinbone as CK Rookie, or what are we calling him?
CK Rookie.
CK Rookie, is that what we said?
Yeah. Or C Rookie.
What a save there. Oh, almost. Almost a great save there. Donut does get a from the grave kill on Meme Hunter there. Firebirds are going to have to fall back and try again, but time is on their side as they've got 4 minutes to work with now just to push it a couple meters further.
Very true. Now, I could hear them cheering outside, so maybe there's something that we missed in the broadcast. Ultimately, I'd love to watch that back because it's always great when you can hear cheering from out there because it means that they're really having a good time. Their communication's key and is a good cause. Now, unfortunately, Meme Hunter being boosted by that nano, getting a triple kill there, and the remaining of the Firebirds taken out. But like you said, the time is on their side, and they just burned that ultimate.
Yeah, burned those couple ultimates pretty quickly. Firebirds getting close to a couple themselves. Nancakes has the window. Donut should have Shatter in this fight. If Lunar Synergy hits a few shots, he should also have High Noon.
Now we do see Notorious having that Pulse Bomb on the back line. Nancake's taken out by CK Rookie, and Notorious taking Donut out. All of a sudden, the Firebirds not able to gain that ground that they were getting for the longest time. CK Rookie getting a triple kill there. What is happening all of a sudden? Maybe I mean, I said their communication was key, but maybe they got a little bit too ahead of themselves and really just kind of slacking on the communication all of a sudden, being way too confident. And that is a downfall sometimes. You have to be confident, but not too confident. You have to be playing the game until it says victory. It is not over until you see that.
We see CK Rookie using their ultimate just for zoning, maybe even some time-wasting purposes. Shinbone trying to immediately counterattack, and now we're going to see a Kiriko ult here as we head into another fight that the Firebirds are drastically outnumbered in, but Shinbone with the ultimate there is going to even it up there.
Yeah, and because now they have that Kiriko gone, the Firebirds are really at an advantage. And Donut using the charge, aiming for the Reinhardt, but getting the Tracer. Shinbone getting in support, and there we go. We're going to see the Firebirds be able to push it all the way to that end point and taking map 2 with a rather fun time. The times that they lost it, I think it was really, they were getting, it was all up in their head. They were really not playing smart. And then all of a sudden, just flicking that switch back on, and suddenly they're going to be playing at the peak of their...
Second play of the game, though, for Meme Hunter here.
We're seeing some really good plays. I think Meme Hunter is a very powerful tank, especially on Reinhardt. And
oh my gosh.
It's definitely a threat to be reckoned with, especially when you're nano boosted, getting a triple kill there. However, I'm very biased. I think Donut is a phenomenal Reinhardt and is proving maybe slightly better Reinhardt. That being said, Meme Hunter has shown on Ramatra that, can play a mean Ramatra. So I think we're having 2 really powerful tanks going head to head, and ultimately we are going to be seeing some really good battles in the future. Now we're going to take another 5-minute break between matches while we get the next map set up, so don't go anywhere. We will be back very soon. Welcome back, everybody, for map 3 of tonight's matchup. Your Carthage Firebirds against the Purdue Boilermakers. Now, map 1 was a pretty interesting set of rounds on that control point. You know, having a really back and forth match, rounds 1 and 2, and then going in round 3 was just not a good time for your Firebirds. Unfortunately, losing map 1. Going into map 2 on Kings Row, and wow, why don't you explain basically what happened?
Well, essentially, we saw the Firebirds giving up point a little bit quicker than I would have liked while they were playing defense, but they did ultimately put the stop on the Boilermakers before the third point, which meant the Firebirds only had to go as far as the Boilermakers did, and they did so swiftly and efficiently. They left the first capture point with, I believe, over 5 minutes on the clock, got to the second one with about another 4 minutes on the clock, and finished the map with 3 minutes to spare. So
it was a beautiful turn of events, and I'm hoping that this is that momentum that carries us into the next few maps. Now, map 3, once again, we are seeing a new map here for the Firebirds. It's not new to the game, but it's the first time we're seeing it this season. We are seeing Junkertown. Now,
we're actually seeing a pause.
We're seeing a pause
right now.
So, we are going to, okay. We're going to take a quick break because there's some technical difficulties that could take, 30 seconds. It could take a few minutes. So regardless, we're going to take a quick break, and we don't know when we'll be back, but it'll probably not be so long. So go pop that popcorn you were hoping for that you realized you didn't have enough time. I say that.
No more time for that popcorn because we got a match coming at you right now. The pause is done. Seems like a computer crashed real quick, but it wasn't important to the stream here as we're going to keep going. Firebirds line it up. If Donut, all right. Donut was on Doomfist for a second, and I was about to be excited.
Now, your Firebirds sticking with the same lineup of players. This time looks like they're going to be defending once again. It looks like they're going to be running Sigma, Widowmaker, Ashe, Mercy, and Baptiste. Now I think that is a very standard and very solid, strong composition. I think Sigma, Donut on Sigma, we haven't seen much of. Not a bad Sigma in any sense. I love Crazy Mage on Sigma though. I do think I miss that sometimes. But I think we're going to be seeing some pretty good plays there. Now, the Boilermakers running a Sigma as well. Hanzo, Widow, Baptiste, and Zenyatta. Pretty similar comp here, but the Hanzo is definitely going to be a switch up. Now, as I say that, immediately getting a pick on Lunar Synergy, but fortunately, Fuzzy is ready with that revive on that Mercy, bringing him back into fight, and then getting picked off by the Widowmaker right away. Unfortunately, Lunar Synergy, not enough time to even inhale before he's picked off again, but the Firebirds really going to have to grab it. Notorious is getting headshot after headshot after headshot after headshot.
Oh my goodness.
What is going on?
Firebirds falling apart here on point number 1 as Notorious is just absolutely taking the Firebirds by the throat here.
That I think it wasn't missing a single shot there. I'm sure that shot accuracy is like 100% or close to it at least. We are seeing some really, really good. Again, another headshot. What is going on?
Someone hit
and another kill.
In between.
Notorious has got
another
my one.
Goodness.
Shoot, what is happening? I'm pretty sure he just got like 9 or 10 kills without dying in the span of however many seconds.
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to expect, but Shinbone is not having it and switching to Genji, which is a counter to Hanzo. And oddly enough, actually brothers. Genji and Hanzo are brothers.
This is true.
Which is pretty interesting.
But that was crazy.
That was pretty crazy. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say after that.
That was the Notorious show right there.
That was.
Someone hit aim. Oh my goodness, and it hasn't stopped. As Notorious will take another.
Another one! Oh my gosh! What is happening? The Boilermakers, we've not seen any accuracy like this rounds 1 and 2, or maps 1 and 2. Like, we saw Notorious playing that Hanzo, but we have not seen this. What is happening? Meme Hunter getting a double kill there with his Sigma ult.
Firebirds roll through here like a train, not really sure what to do. No. Donut switches to Winston. We're seeing more of a dive composition here, but will it be able to do anything against Notorious as he is just lining up another shot?
No,
doesn't detect any Firebirds here. Gets 1, 2, has the ultimate at the ready, goes into all the Firebirds. Will they be able to get out of there in time? they do, as Shinbone will get CK Rookie and keep rolling along.
Great plays there. Getting a triple kill there because Shinbone getting a 4K. Oh my gosh! Finally,
The Shimada brothers and the cousin show up big on map 3.
I'll say this for the stream. Every single match from activation week until now, we have seen Shinbone get at least a 4K, and every time I'm expecting it. It is usually, I think, it's always on Genji. Now he did get a Reaper one last week.
The Reaper one was last week.
But I am happy that we saw it once again, continuing this streak. What a player. What a dominant player on Genji even. We've seen some dominant from not even when he's on Genji, when he's playing Ashe or Widowmaker apparently. He is playing at the top of his game now. We see that Genji blade. Will we see it come out very shortly? Unfortunately not, but Lunar Synergy taking out Hullabaloo. Shinbone is on fire, literally and metaphorically. Donut popping that Primal Rage, and Shinbone's just kind of like cooling off there, relaxing. Now, Donut is alone in that front line on Winston, but he's not letting it cause any issues because he has Fuzzy in the back. Notorious switching off of Hanzo onto the
I
far.
think that's an interesting call there. If you have that level of accuracy, I don't think you switch off the character. If the Firebirds start coming back now, I'm saying it's because of that switch.
Definitely. But, I mean, the Firebirds having the Plasma Cannon on Winston and Kiriko's kunai, and, I mean, technically Genji. I think against the Pharah, it really excels. I mean, we're seeing here exactly what I was expecting. Genji, Shinbo popping the Genji blade. Unfortunately, though, not timed properly and kind of missing any sort of opportunity. I think was a little bit too excited to press that, but is going to take out Notorious regardless. Donut taking out Hullabaloo, and suddenly the Firebirds regaining this momentum. Now, Donut onto that Winston. I love, and that is exactly why. Diving in, popping the bubble, and focusing on that backline. Nankicks and Fuzzy, though. Now, okay, hang on a second. Nankicks is playing Mercy and got a melee kill there. That is something I love to see, because for the viewers at home, Mercy pretty much doesn't have a weapon. Has a little pistol as a secondary that isn't that good. But a melee kill is always great to see, especially...
What is this match right now?
I don't know. I really don't.
I'm at a loss for words here.
Yeah.
As we see another fight break out now.
Yeah. I don't even know what to expect, but I'm happy to see it. Lunar Synergy on that Tracer, kind of baiting out that Immortality field from the Boilermakers. Notorious taking Donut out, unfortunately, on that Reaper. But because Shinbone is just amazing and Fuzzy is amazing, not letting that stop them by any means. And Fuzzy getting a double kill there. Donut coming back in as the fight continued, coming back in and taking out Meme Hunter. That is going to be a really good stop. We heard him scream out there.
Definitely just heard Shinbone scream as that grenade came at him, thinking he was done for.
Oh, that is a beautiful, beautiful play. Now, that dynamite is exactly what you don't want on Genji, because that fire can cause a decent amount of damage, and your deflect is not going to stop that fire once you're caught. But we're going to see diving the backline is going to be boosted a little bit. The Immortality field being bopped by the Boilermakers, but it's not enough. Shinbone able to escape with one kill with that blade, but he's going to be focusing on the Kiriko, getting Donut stealing that kill, though, and is going to be diving the Reaper. Now, we aren't seeing the Battle of the Brothers anymore, but we are seeing just more of dominance from Shinbone. This is amazing to see after such a rocky start. Donut, though, taking out CK Rookie.
3 seconds left. Holy cow, the Firebirds are about to...
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even
force
realize that.
overtime here.
They're in overtime right now, and they're able to...
And they're going to take it.
This is not what I was expecting.
Oh, my goodness. They won't even reach point number 2 before we head to the Firebirds half.
I don't even... If I could graph, okay, if I could visually represent the odds of success from the Firebirds of that round, okay? Started out, nothing. Really low. Okay, I'm going to make sure it's right on the camera. Very low. Firebirds not doing well at all. Getting picked off all by one person. And then all of a sudden, Shinbone just kind of, I don't know, decides to open his eyes. And then suddenly the Firebirds coming back and just...
Yeah, no, he had to have just turned his monitor on at that point.
Apparently. Oh my gosh, what a round now. Firebirds just have to push it that far.
Yeah,
and
suddenly becomes a lot more doable than it seemed like it would have been.
I think that first stretch of land is very difficult, very open.
Well, apparently not if you're the Boilermakers. So we're gonna see if the Firebirds can mirror that kind of performance there.
Yeah. Now, looking at the Boilermakers, immediately switching. Notorious playing Sombra and CK Rookie playing Widowmaker. Now, on this first stretch, Sombra is pretty good because you can hack and cause some issues. And Widowmaker pairing with that Sombra is not a good point. Or not a good choice. Or is a good choice, not a good thing for the Firebirds, I should say. Because Sombra can hack the main tank and hack the shield out, and Widowmaker can snipe. However, Donut's going Doomfist. And Doomfist doesn't have a shield. And Doomfist is, especially Donut on Doomfist, is just on another level. And Shinbone tried to get the trick shot, but CK Rookie on that Sombra was waiting for him, and unfortunately it is going to take him out. Now we are seeing Donut switching off of that Doomfist onto the Winston and taking a decent amount of damage, but the Firebirds still having this momentum. A lot of them are still in the fight. We're seeing the Sombra kind of still fight Lunar Synergy and Fuzzy, but Donut diving onto the Orisa. Unfortunately, Shinbone taken out by the Widowmaker. I would not be surprised if we saw Shinbone switch to a Widowmaker to kind of counter him. Now, Donut able to kind of get a ton of healing. Shinbone being revived. Lunar Synergy kind of trying to take out and cause some issues for that Widowmaker. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for Lunar Synergy to take him out, but Donut coming in, finishing off that Widow, and Shinbone taking out the Baptiste. Firebirds gaining some really good ground here. Shinbone diving onto the supports for the Boilermakers and taking a ton of damage, but waiting and taking up that health pack, restoring enough health to kind of just regain some of that momentum. And we're seeing that Orisa taken out, and Shinbone finishing off that Sombra. Firebirds are going to be taking that first stretch of ground. Now, they have 5 minutes to push it. Basically, this next stretch, and this next stretch, it's basically you get a minute 30 to push. That is what's added to the clock every time you secure that first checkpoint. So let's just say a minute 30 of that, assuming the Firebirds don't get it contested at any point. Now we are seeing that Sombra
against also have 5 minutes to work with due to the time that they had added from the first point not taking very long.
Very true.
They do have 5 minutes to make this last push here.
Yeah, now it is going to be a little bit of a concern there because a Sombra against the Tracer is not a good matchup. Lunar Synergy has to play very carefully because Sombra is a direct counter Tracer. Shinbone, though, taking out that Sombra. Unfortunately, though, the Widowmaker is just going to click his head, and Shinbone is taken out. Now, Lunar Synergy experiencing the same thing, taken out by the Widow. But I don't know. I think the Tracer's not someone you really want. I mean, Lunar Synergy makes it work. But personally, I would be switching off that Tracer because the Sombra especially. You know, the Widow can basically just if the Widow gets a headshot, will take you out of the fight immediately. Like, it's a one-shot headshot. And the Sombra just basically counters you and makes you so you can't use your Blink, which is Tracer's main ability. Now, I say that Donut can be popping that Primal Rage, diving onto the back line of the Boilermakers. Fuzzy taking out Notorious. Shinbone using the Blade, getting a double kill there. Unfortunately taken out, but Fuzzy taking out the Widowmaker, and it looks like it's kind of just the Orisa at this point for the Firebirds, and the Firebirds still pushing up, delaying that Orisa elimination just enough to really cause some issues. Now we do see Notorious having that EMP, but Shinbone not even getting the kill.
Oh my gosh,
just
you
using
could hear
the melee.
Shinbone screaming out there.
And he is the perfect person to be shouting. When he is shouting, you know he's having some good times. And the Firebirds contesting it at 2.83 meters. Will they get enough picks? Fuzzy getting a double kill there, knocking it to 1.3. Fuzzy getting another kill there at 1.3 still. Will we see Shinbone finishing off Meme Hunter? Firebirds taking map 3. What?
Listen, all I'm saying is if we make a meme about this entire map number 3 here, it's gonna be Shinbone's face over the Michael Jordan, and I took that personally. Absolutely turned this one around for the Firebirds as they take map number 3.
I'm gonna make that. We're seeing Notorious getting to play the game. I'm not even mad though because I'm making that meme probably during this break. Oh my gosh, what a match! Holy cow. We have one more map. Firebirds leading 2-1. They have to be careful, though, because the Boilermakers could win this map. Notorious could do the same thing. But we are going to take another quick break while we get ready for this next map, and I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah,
So
we'll see.
don't go anywhere, because now's the time to pop that popcorn. Have a quick break and enjoy it.
Sometimes you gotta leave the past behind just to find out where you're going. They try to tell you should take your time, but inside your heart you know it. Don't try to stay. Sometimes you gotta leave the past behind just to find out where you're going. I know you're scared to take a chance to fly, but the wind will keep you soaring. Don't try to stay. Sometimes you gotta leave the past behind just to find out where you're going. No need to waste no time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Map 4 of tonight's Overwatch matchup. Your Carthage Firebirds against the Purdue Boilermakers. Now, map 1, very weird, very interesting. Firebirds just back and forth, rounds 1 and 2, and then round 3 just got. I'll be honest, Firebirds got steamrolled. It really was, and I think it was because Boilermakers pulling out that May really caused some issues for the Firebirds. Now, map 2 on Kings Row. What do you explain? What happened? Summarize what happened.
So on Kings Row, the Firebirds just they were just able to find it on their attacking half. They stopped them from reaching all 3 points on the first push by the Boilermakers. And they were able to just keep on pushing through with plenty of time to spare, and they just played a really solid Kings Row. And then moving into map number 3, we saw Notorious really look like he was just gonna take it from the Firebirds.
And it definitely took it. For the first checkpoint, especially for the Boilermakers, like, just, it was unbelievable.
It's crazy.
I don't think I've ever seen a player make a play like that. It was literally, I think it was like, I'd like to tally it up. It was like 10 kills in 20 seconds.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount. Like 2 team fights completely won by Notorious on his own, on their own, pretty much.
Like it hitting probably 90% accuracy. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen. And then Shinbone just kind of said, I'm done. I'll pick Genji. And then the Firebirds just I can't even describe how well they hold them for some reason after checkpoint 1 on Junkertown. Inside
great
that
play by Shinbone there.
Oh my gosh. Shinbone proving some dominance, but we are heading into map 4 on Push on Esperanza. Now Push is a new game mode where both teams have to push the center and control the center objective and push it as far as they can, farther than the other team. Now the Firebirds running a Doomfist, Genji, Reaper, Ana, and Lucio. Now Crazy Mage coming in for Lunar Synergy, and it looks like the Boilermakers running that Junker Queen, Ashe, Cassidy, Baptiste, and Lucio. Right off the bat, though, Shinbone taken out by CK Rookie. That Cassidy magnetic grenade, definitely not having a good time there. Shinbone's definitely not having a good time against that. But Donut on that Doomfist is going to be pushing people around and around into walls, especially that Junker Queen. And I think Junker Queen is probably, I wouldn't say the worst person to go up against Doomfist, but it's very much 2 brawlers going up against each other. Not much of a defensive capability, but on Push, that's not a bad thing. Donut getting a double kill there on one of the supports of the Boilermakers and one of their DPS. And Shinbone mopping up that remaining DPS. Unfortunately, Fuzzy was taken out of the battle, but Shinbone is right there. Crazy Mage was like one shot away there from taking out that Junker Queen, but Shinbone taking out the Lucio and Donut finishing off that Junker Queen. Firebirds, after losing 1 meter off of the Boilermakers, pushing it 1 meter, just almost 2 meters. Firebirds coming back and now pushing it 20 meters and counting. Now Donut having that seismic meteor strike. Sorry. What person's seismic chart? What?
Seismic, I think, is it's. I thought.
Can't think of it.
I think seismic is something with Sigma.
Anyways, Firebirds are kind of having an interesting time here. However, Donut and Shinbone on that front and center front line for the Boilermakers, causing some issues, disrupting that flow, and ultimately the Firebirds are going to win this fight again. Almost.
Seismic Slam is Doomfist's other ability.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. That one.
I know. I'm like, let's sit there.
Slam.
I'm see the names of the abilities. A lot of times the players are not using the exact names. They're using a turn, something very short.
Yes.
Because in competitive gaming especially, every syllable matters. So they're really focusing on what's the quickest call out I can make that everybody knows exactly what it is. So that one people call it slam. But Shinbone popping that Genji Blade, taking out CK Rookie, taking out Notorious. Will we see another? Unfortunately, no. Bob is going to finish him off. But a 2 for 2 there.
From the grave there.
I say that Boilermakers getting 3 kills there. It looks like the Boilermakers are going to secure the robot. Now, does the robot have a name? I think it does, and I'm going to look this up.
You look that up. I got you right now. I think it's hilarious. My favorite part is that the robot needs a break after making it to a point. The robot will just put his hand on his hip and say, "I'm done," for like 5 seconds. I find that hilarious. It's my favorite part of this game. It's my favorite part of this game mode. I'm hoping someone takes another point so that we could see it. Crazy Mage, though, I didn't realize we subbed in for Crazy Mage.
Yeah.
Crazy Mage in on the DPS.
Shinbone taking out 2 people there, along with Crazy Mage, resulting in 4K there for the Firebirds. Let's do some quick math. That we're leaving them with 1 person, and they're going to be forcing the Boilermakers forced to back up. Now, I did get word that the name of the robot is not interesting. It's TS1.
Oh. That's
think
fine.
I saw a post on Reddit that was like, what should we name the robot? But it wasn't anything official. I think there was some names of Ronaldo and stuff like that.
Ronaldo.
I think Ronaldo.
I like Ronaldo. Ronaldo seems just sassy enough to need a break after making it to a point.
Very true. I mean, if you're pushing it back and forth, you know, pushing it as far as you can, and then someone goes, hey, turn around, you're going to be a little bit angry. Now, Donut, though, not having an issue with this robot name, pushing in, taking out the backline of the Boilermakers, while the rest of his team is taking care of the front line. That is some great execution from both teams. Donut, though, 75
Needs some heals.
health.
Needs some heals.
And both of the supports for the Firebirds are decently far away. No, NECC is front and center on Lucio, so that's going to be a good thing. But Meme Hunter switching to that Orisa, will that be the move? Could be the move. But we're seeing Donut not really have any sort of issues here, laying down some of that hand cannon fire into the Orisa, not doing enough damage, but is able to dive into the backline, eventually not taking anybody out. Unfortunately, Donut's taken out there, but was doing a ton of damage. Now Shinbone having that ultimate ability, having that blade with that nano boost. Will we see a 1? Will we see a 2? Will we see 3? It's so close. Was 1 swipe
timer
away.
ran out.
A nano boosted Cassidy is not someone you can really deal with, especially as that Genji blade disappears. Unfortunately, only seeing 2 there. But we did see a 4K from him last round, so I'm not too mad. Firebirds losing the point, but there's a lot of distance that Ronaldo has to cover, as we say.
Yeah, we're
I like
keeping
that.
Ronaldo.
We're gonna name him Ronaldo.
That's Ronaldo.
I like it. Picasso. I like it.
I
Definitely.
like it. Picasso.
It's interesting. But Nancake's on that Lucio. I think Lucio. I personally don't think Lucio's that good, but ultimately it's good when you're pairing it, especially as Fuzzy as the other support, pairing it against an Ana. Now Donut is getting hacked by that Sombra EMP, which is the best way to cause some issues for a Doomfist. But Crazy Mage popping that Riptire, only taking out the Immortality Field, which is going to allow Shinbone to dive in, taking out Ryu. Now CK Rookie taking out Crazy Mage and Shinbone there. Firebirds are now down both of their DPSs, probably going to have to back up. We do see Fuzzy using the Biotic Grenade, allowing Donut to kind of push in with some health, taking out Hullabaloo, but Fuzzy's going to be falling. Donut getting another kill there. NECC's finishing off Meme Hunter.
Gosh,
the
Nancakes
Firebirds
and Donut just rolling along here.
I love how you say that. Lucio's not that good. And then Nancakes just proves me wrong and proceeds to basically 1v whatever with, well, 2v whoever, the rest of the Boilermakers, and have a great time. And the objective is pushed up, but unfortunately, the remaining Firebirds already spawned at the back point. So they had what's called the long spawn, as we say. Meaning, you're not the spawn that's close. You unfortunately got unlucky and respawned before it reset. So a lot of distance being covered there, or having to be covered by the Firebirds, but they're finally back. Donut taken out by a Meme Hunter. Firebirds going to have to find that momentum here very shortly. Unfortunately for the Boilermakers, though, Shinbone using that deflect, knocking a few of the Boilermakers back. I think Sombra is working out for the Boilermakers. Firebirds really need to kind of figure out what they need to fix. We are seeing that hack just disrupt any sort of momentum and abilities that the Firebirds have, and Donut punching the sign out of frustration.
Firebirds regroup in here. They've got a lot of space to work with. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. The Firebirds just got to make sure they keep the lead here. It's not so much needing to make it to the other end, though that would be appreciated and helpful. They just need to kind of hold the line and make sure that they don't give up too much here. And I think the key will be keeping this point in their possession. But I am excited to see if Ronaldo does get to take his little break here, and hopefully we get to see it.
Oh, yeah. Now Shinbone taking out the Sombra, but unfortunately going to be taken out along with Donut. The Firebirds are now having to deal with that spawn reset for the Boilermakers. Now the Boilermakers just really gaining this ground, this momentum. The Firebirds switching it up slightly. We are seeing Donut switching to that Winston, and I like that. I like that. I think Winston is a good choice here against an Orisa. We will see how that fares, though, in favor of, you know, whichever team it's going to be in favor of. However, we do see the Boilermakers having several ultimate abilities at their disposal. Donut using that Winston, diving into the backline, focusing on the Ana. Shinbone getting a 4K! As I say that!
Has to. Where's
Another
the fifth?
4K! He gets 2 4Ks in one game. That's an 8K for those who are counting. That is an 8K.
There's the last
There's a
one.
9K, and the rest of the rest of the Boilermakers are taken out of the picture. Beautiful picture there, painted by the one and only Shinbone, and a little bit of a spray there to kind of commemorate it. The Baptiste, though, for the Boilermakers, really far up. Shinbone, though, taking the back route with Fuzzy, knowing they're kind of there.
Oh my gosh!
What a play! Deflecting that shot into the Cassidy, basically doing most of the damage, and then is able to kind of finish him off with a single shuriken. But the robot was stopped. Ronaldo was stopped. And the Firebirds gained no ground during that play. Now, we are seeing the EMP being played again. Firebirds kind of disrupted by that. Shinbone and Crazy Mage are taken out of the picture. I don't know what the Firebirds are going to be able to do to take care of that Sombra unless they switch.
Oh, really? The Firebirds just got to win just about one more team fight as the clock ticks down to 20 seconds here, and they're holding the lead.
Yeah.
So as long as they just win one more fight before the lead is lost, they should be set for the W here against the Boilermakers, but it comes down to winning that last fight. The Firebirds got to find out what stopped them last time, see if they can really focus that backline with the dive composition that they're starting to form here with Shinbone and Donut.
Definitely. Now we do see Shinbone taking out Meme Hunter, which is going to be so good for the Firebirds. Unfortunately, though, 3 of the Firebirds taken out, but Shinbone's not going to let that stop him. Taking it out, and we're seeing Donut popping the Primal Rage. High Noon's being deployed, but it's not going to stop him. CK Rookie is pushing the objective farther and farther.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately,
Oh, no.
this is...
Oh, no.
I don't know. This is not good. The Firebirds need to stop CK Rookie right now, and unfortunately
stop him.
is gaining more and more ground. Crazy Mage, though, popping the ultimate, getting a double kill there, and the Firebirds are taking down and take the dub. What a beautiful dub it was. Wow. Wow, that was scary there at the end.
Kind of
But
came out of
Crazy
nowhere.
Mage, Crazy Mage, you know, coming back. Oh,
Hey,
here we go.
there we
Finally.
go.
Redemption. Shinbone finally getting that
Oh my
play
gosh,
of the
3 with
game.
one
It is
strike.
gorgeous. Gorgeous play of the game. Was it a 5K? Yeah, it was a 5K.
I think they're going to give it to him. Come on, give it to him.
Come on.
Give it
there
to
we
him.
go.
Yeah!
Team kill there by Shinbone. What a match. What
That's
a match.
crazy.
I mean,
GG's.
Boilermakers really, it was not an easy fight for the Firebirds.
Shinbone stepping up huge.
Oh,
Shinbone stepping up huge for the Firebirds. From map 3 and map 4, just incredible play we're seeing out of the kid.
Oh, yeah. And this is his first season. Shinbone is a freshman. First season here, and is proving to be one of the most dominant players in the division, I think.
Yeah.
We are seeing game after game being a threat to literally everybody, being a threat to tanks, to DPS, to supports. Not like it's so amazing to see that and to say that. I love to see it. I'm expecting to see it time and time again. But
I wonder who just walked in behind me.
I'm hoping it's Shinbone.
I'm hoping.
But
well, if it's not, we don't want to embarrass them.
I don't know. But we'll figure that out very shortly. We are going to take just a quick break before our post-game interview, so don't go anywhere. I'm hoping it's Shinbone. I don't know who it's going to be. It's going to be a surprise. We'll learn together. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. What a match we just experienced. It is our post-game interview. Our match tonight against the Purdue Boilermakers was a very fun one to commentate, and I'm hoping to watch. I had a great time. We saw dominance. Well, I wouldn't say dominance. It was very much back and forth in map 1. Very, very much Firebirds kind of winning and losing the first 2 rounds. Unfortunately, round 3, Firebirds got, for lack of a better word, steamrolled, just gaining no ground. And then map 2 on Kings Row, coming back, having a great time. Map 3 on Junkertown, having a very interesting set of events. One of the Boilermakers playing Hanzo, Notorious, playing Hanzo, getting a large number of kills that I would love to add up later on in the span of maybe, I think about 10 kills in a span of like 20 seconds. Allowing the rest of their team to push in, capture the point. However, one of the Firebirds decided to just switch up, have a little bit of a fun time, and proceeded to hard counter the entirety of the Boilermakers, supported by his team. That person is joining me, Shinbone, getting a 4K and a 5K tonight, and 4K's previous matches. What is going through your mind right now?
I thought this is our best game to date. Within our scrim series back in fall, with everything that's happened the past 3 games, this is our best team game ever. We came out a little slow. We did have a little bit of success on Nepal, but going into Kings Row, going into what was the map? Going into the 3rd map, going into the 4th map, we had all of our preparation ready. Mm-hmm. We were heating up. We were really getting it together. Everybody was pretty in sync especially through the 3rd map. 2nd map we were really getting there, but 3rd map we were full throttle. Junkertown we were on full throttle with everything.
Now I think definitely putting attention to that opening start on Junkertown. with Notorious. Notorious taking out a ton of your team in just buying so much time, doing some really, really good plays. What was going through your mind right during that point? The whole team, I should say. What was morale down? Were you guys like really scared in a sense?
It wasn't really scared. The people that were really have to play against is me and Will, the DPS. But we instantly bounced back. We were like, okay, we have to play dive. We have to counter them, because they're playing really good. Their Hanzo was hitting shots, and that was our main reason to switch off. They were playing double sniper. Obviously, Junkertown is a huge sniper map.
Oh,
Usually you'll see double sniper, highly poke map. But as soon as we switched off to dive and the close quarters second point, instantly we just jumped straight onto their snipers, and they couldn't really do anything about it, and so they had to switch immediately. And so yeah, it was a team effort to get him off the switch. But yeah, it was a little scary, but we definitely got through it easily.
Oh yeah, I mean, you were able to get some really good kills, but all of them were supported by the rest of your team, and they were able to get kills too. It wasn't, a solo win for you. You just had some really notable plays, and it was beautiful to see, especially the 5K at the end, having the nano boost from Nancakes really, really helped out. And I think both of our supports, Fuzzy and Nancakes, are just absolute dominant support players,
Yeah, our supports are so good. I'd like to focus on that right now. Both of them are phenomenal in what they do. Fuzzy on the Ana in last point. You'll see Nancakes on the Lucio most of the time, but her BAP is insane.
Oh,
Emor, she has a sixth sense with Emor.
That's exactly what I said.
As you said, I know. I watched back the VOD and I said that. Yeah, she is incredible. And today she is playing with the flu. Well, COVID, but with the flu. And so it's like that Michael Jordan flu game. She's playing yesterday. She had no power at her house. She couldn't practice. So she's coming back with all these setbacks. Michael Jordan flu game. You can call her MJ.
I love to hear it, and I'm glad I talked to her earlier. She's feeling better, but having all that time where she wasn't able to really play, she was probably in bed, definitely caused some issues, especially the power outage. But we did see such a great performance despite that, as you said. And I mean, we said we were going to make a meme about you with MJ as well. So that's the second time Michael Jordan has come into play at this match.
Because I took it personally.
You did take it personally.
I took it personally.
But
yeah.
I mean, definitely. I mean, map 2. I think you on Widowmaker. That was somebody we don't see often from you, especially in such a performance like that. I mean, you were getting shot after shot, kill after kill. Were you like ever thinking about switching, or were you just kind of like hey, this is kind of working?
So through first and second point, I wanted to play Widow. I told Will, the other DPS, who usually he's obviously the McCree one trick. He plays those sharpshooters, McCree, Ash, Widow. That's his characters. And I said, Will, I want to play Widow because I felt really good yesterday in practice. I had a good showing, and I really wanted to play Widow. And I showed it off tonight. Hit a few jump shots, hit a few shots. But yeah. But going through second point, as soon as I saw it wasn't working, I would have to switch. I switched to the Tracer, and then later on to the Hanzo, and the Hanzo is pretty similar. It's pretty
I think
same.
you got the game-winning play there with that dragon at the end, definitely clearing off the site. But ultimately, I mean, a dominant performance from all of the Firebirds tonight. Now, going into next week, what is something you guys still kind of needing to work on and hoping to work on?
So as you saw, first map, we come in a little cold. Every time we're a little unfocused. Comms aren't exactly there, but we need to. We aren't. The engines aren't running at full throttle yet. We need to get hot a little quicker. But yeah,
get fired up.
Get fired
as I
up.
say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely shows that you guys are kind of the late game comeback, and it's not exactly something you guys want, but it happens, and I think that is something that can easily be fixed in the future, and I'm hoping to see that. But that is all we have for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me and having such a dominant performance. I'm hoping to see more of that in the coming weeks. But to the viewers at home, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to follow us on all of our social medias at Carthage Esports. We'll be back tomorrow, I believe around 6 o'clock for some Smash Ultimate. And then next week, Tuesday, back for some Rainbow Six Siege. So don't miss out. It's a great time. Have a great night. And I hope to see you all tomorrow.
The high Weethan shoves that right over to the Lions half. Looks like this one's going in. Oh, are you kidding me? Donut S. Donut over behind. We're gonna see the barrage. The barrage.
Oh my gosh, Nico is just dominating right now.
What a play!
That's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
That was disgusting.
Don't speak, I don't wanna hear those words. Don't say it all again to me.